not staying yet. I'm an optimist.
Yeah. Okay, so, if we want to go on and talk about the road closures that we,
Can we call the meeting? So since this is all being recorded, I think we need to say we are starting.
Oh, well, I did before you paused it.
Sorry.
So officially commence Maryland County, October 28th, 25. Or
okay. Actually, will you pull up that map?
Is this the road closure map or the construction?
It's the road closure map. The winter closure map.
these are BC networks not working.
Oh, wait, more.
Well, there's one in this room, our Wi-Fi's.
Yeah, I had to get off of it because I couldn't even
Yeah.
get anything.
Okay,
You send those to them.
Yeah. So we've got 5 total gates that we want to make sure that you're aware of where those are located at. The first one is at, Bone Road and Eagle Pass. Shows on the map there. We do wait until, snow is deep enough that we're concerned about people getting back in there and being stuck. Eagle Pass Road and the one just north of there, Keps Crossing, lead back into a lot of ground that is accessible through a lot of different roads. So we close these 2 off. If you'll zoom out, it closes off a lot of that area to the east, which is an attraction to a lot of people. They want to go back in there. So we've got gates there. We've got 2 gates on 115th east on the north side and on the south side, before the big dugways that always get drifted in. So we've got 2 on 115th east. We've got another one on Meadow Creek Road. That Meadow Creek Road is just past where Juniper Campground is. That's where we close it off. And if we don't close that off, that's another way into the same area that Eagle Pass and Keps Crossing closes off. Those are the 5 gates that we have. But we do have other road closures on there. We've got a list of them. There are a bunch of them. I don't know how in depth you want to go, or if you have questions about a certain area that we can kind of go to and look at.
So is the list current to what we actually are closing?
The list that we have that I can provide you is current with what we are closing, and the map is as current as we can get right now. So
Can you give them a little bit of history, Lance, at least Michelle, as to why we started closing all these?
we started closing them with gates, specifically because people kept throwing the road closure signs off to the side and driving through anyway. We were getting a lot of people stuck back in there. And when they get back in stuck and then call the police, and it's police would
Sheriff would go spend
hours and hours and hours trying to get somebody out, and many times they would get stuck themselves.
so how long have we had the gates up?
The gates have been up for about 3 years now.
Oh, is that
This will be the 4th year.
Yeah, I know when I worked with the Forest Service that people pay very little respect to signs or road closures.
Yeah. So that was the reason that we went with the gates on those 4 to 5 locations. But we do have a lot of other road closures. They are not quite as, the other roads close off areas, but they're not quite as openly accessible to hundreds of miles of roads as Eagle Path and Kettle Crossing and Meadow Creek Road.
So did we do this at the request of law enforcement?
Law enforcement not necessarily requested it, but they were certainly in favor of it to start with and trying to keep people out of those areas.
In my mind, the driving force is Lance's department because of damage to roads.
Yeah, the first one started with Foster's,
Soft.
right?
That was part of it, but not
They
all of it.
always suck in Merrick Road. And then you have to rebuild the road in the spring before we open the road.
And we've done that on 115th East multiple times.
The other one of contention is the Bribery Blacktail access.
Right,
Which we do close off at 115th East,
right.
to prevent people from driving past there. But,
The road and snowplows can't get by, or they can't use their service trucks by because people are blocking the road with their snowmobile side-by-side trailers. It's a great big parking lot there. Or did, Johnson's?
I don't think so. I'll follow Jerry, it's different Charleston.
it's Talbot's now, they're the ones that
Run it, right, but they're not, they're actual owners, they lease.
Well, I think they are the actual owners. Bud Johnson was their grandfather or something like that, so they're actual owners right now, but
I dealt with Forest Service lands for a long time. The people who do
Ignore.
unjustified and ignorant things and then expect someone else to bail them out is more than anyone in the general public would guess.
yeah. Are there particular other areas? I know some of the other ones that are common that you probably need to be aware of is close to Swan Valley. We do close off High Country Road there at the the substation. It is a steep road up off Highway 26. We do plow it up to the substation so the substation can get in. And then around the other way off of Highway 31, we close off Travel Road, Campbell Road, and then we close off Travel Road as you come off the highway up a little bit to get past the Trapper home.
And then on the other side of the river, Snake River,
On the other side of the Snake River, we do close off at Fall Creek. We have road closures before you get to the Dugway on kind of both sides of the main steep Dugway. The one on the further southeast kind of shifts a little bit as our operator up there gets harder and harder to plow towards that Dugway. He moves that further back to the southeast.
We don't want anybody getting hurt trying to plow roads.
Yeah.
Steve. Who's the operator?
Kyle.
Well,
Jacobs,
Jacobs.
it's been,
yeah,
His brother works for the Forest Service.
well, there's like 8 of them, so, yeah.
We do close off around McCoy Creek Road. If you want to go up, we actually drive through Alpine to get around the backside and close off McCoy Creek Road. We close off the Grace Lake Road just past one of the last homes that is up there.
Back up to Quick Creek and show our roads in Bondo County that had caribou plows for us during the winter down state line.
So Lincoln County actually does some with state line.
And Wyoming does some.
Yeah, so Lincoln County does some right over there near, Jackknife Creek. Caribou does the portion down near Grace Lake.
So we started Alpine and work over so that this map is sensibly oriented to the observers.
Does the Grace Lake, whatever it is, natural, does that close down during the winter?
No, it is not closed down. The wildlife area. There are people who live up in that area.
Yeah, that's
year-round.
what I mean, it's almost to the, whatever road it is, it takes you to Soda Springs, and there's still homes, aren't there?
Yeah, there's homes all the way up through there.
So
And
how,
that- So that agreement, I do want to talk to you again. We usually have a written agreement with Caribou County for their operator out of Caribou County to plow those roads for us in the wintertime, which is right now, that agreement we had last year, we need another one. And we would ask the commissioners to reach out to their commissioners. Because the last couple of years, it's kind of been taken out of the hands of the road and bridge supervisor.
By the end of the winter.
well, we need, I mean, we should be done now. Do we have a copy of what we need to do for it?
We
Did we
have
do them last year?
We had last year.
Well, let's get that on the agenda.
It from Caribou. And it, well, they don't have a plow operator. They pay for their operator, I do that. So what it costs is based on actually how many times you have to plow and what's gonna takes.
So we reimburse that.
So, right, so the contract is based on last year's number, so it's always a year back. What it costs, so bad winters, get a really steep bill, and then the next winter less. It's like, that's why, well, I'll figure out, that's why that contract keeps changing. That's.
Right. So the road supervisor of Caribou County, I think, is prepared with the number that he has from last year. But that needs to come from Caribou County Commissioners and
Okay, well, we need to get that ball rolling. Ashley, you'll get that on the agenda and make sure that makes it a deadline where we have to.
Used to take care of during the Caribou Loop Trail meeting, which is quarterly, which,
I haven't heard of one since I've been here.
yeah.
Have they had them?
Yeah, Lincoln County's commission changed and Caribou County had commission change. That's still there. You go side by side, or Mike?
Yeah.
And Caribou Loop Trail's at 250 out. Off-road, road. Don't even understand that terminology. That is, goes, like, right now, we want our way around and back up, which is good.
yeah.
A lot of really pretty country. Last year they had more e-bikes than they had side by sides.
This is big.
Which, and my experience with side by side drivers is they're always.
I've seen some that are not.
Not like the ones I see along the same river road, but the ones around Bear Creek and all the way up. I've yet to have an issue with us on a bike ride and then just always slow down, and wave, and tell you how many are coming, which is good. It's good to. If the trails.
So do we have resolutions for those winter closures? Do we,
We are supposed to do it by resolution. We're late. Actually, let's do some research on
So the resolution usually happens when we're ready to close the road.
it. That's when it usually happens, but by our ordinance, it's supposed to occur in October. Now, so we've got to fix the ordinance so that it makes sense.
or the, yeah, I'll read the ordinance.
Yeah.
But there's,
So,
I mean, it should, but we can have a resolution that says roads will be closed pursuant to road and bridges communication plan, the time it is. And we can sign that on October 1st or whenever, so that people know and then are directed to where they need to look. But
And there's usually at least two resolutions, because I think Parks and Rec also has a resolution to start grooming some of these roads that we close for over the road travel, but they open it to over the snow travel and they groom those roads.
yeah, there's just, we should, I don't think we should be waiting until the roads need to be closed. We need to have a resolution that says they will be closed pursuant to road and bridges instructions
Update the wording.
as triggered by whatever,
Six.
but we don't want to be
I can,
all snowed somewhere trying to issue a resolution at the same time.
I can look at those with you, Lance, and see if we can get them updated.
Okay.
Be easier because then you're busy snow plowing when that happens.
Yeah.
So
I don't see any reason to be doing
Okay. So on the map right now, up there is the McCoy Creek Road closure. It is, we do, again, we're in Wyoming, where we usually put that road closure, but it's right before the state line. Did you want to see Grace Lake?
Yep.
Okay.
Please.
How long does it take you to get all these closures in place?
It'll take, well, most of them we can do in one day. There's several others that happen a couple days later. Takes a while, yeah. A lot of miles to cover.
most people do.
We have at least two sets of groups of people going out on the one day to cover all the way over on the Grays Lake side and McCoy Creek and stuff. So, on the map here this is just on the north side of the Grays Lake area. Right past Tammy Logston's home is where we do the road closure there.
It's a lot of over the snow.
There's a lot of over the snow travel on all of these, yeah. They groom all of these roads. They groom McCoy Creek Road down to the Grays Lake Road. Just, it ends, the grooming ends right before you go east towards our road closure here. Then, okay, yeah, Bone Road, we closed Bone Road, basically in the parking lot, we closed the Blackfoot Reservoir Road at that Snowmobile parking lot too. Now, you will often hear referred as the alias, the Blackfoot Reservoir Road is also known as the Day Road. So somebody called and said something about the Day Road. The name of it is Blackfoot
Need to
Reservoir.
plow the day road because I've got 40 cows up there. I didn't get out.
That's what you might hear.
Yes. Yes. Those, supposed to go over good spots as opposed to 30.
These are on asphalt, right at the end of the asphalt. On the Bowman Road, on the asphalt, or the Blackfoot Reservoir Road is gravel from the intersection of Bowman Road out.
And we groomed wheel trail, the snowmobile sheds.
They grew for the snowmobile sheds. The one on Bone Road is, they've got a little bit of a side detour to get back out onto the main Bone Road. The one on Blackfoot Reservoir Road, though, is pretty much right from the parking lot.
We grew all the way up to,
Did we,
On the Blackfoot Reservoir Road, I'm not sure how far they go. On the Bone Road, they'll go all the way through Long Valley to,
our groomed road now.
yeah, and I don't have a groomed road map. That would be Parks and Rec.
You got a stack. Over 200 miles of groomed. Which is awfully nice. Smooth on.
Any other specific areas that you have questions about?
Appreciate your work to get these all updated. Trish, the map looks really good. Nice for people to have access to this.
The commissioners were going to talk about the policy of the gates and handing out keys. Have you been able to do that yet?
No, we can talk about it right now. Policy in the past has been for folks to come from, get a form, go to the bridge and bring it down here, and you have to sign it, so they go back there and get the key to go to the gate to get their equipment up there, which seems like a tremendous waste of time for everybody. And discussing with Brian and Roger in the past. So we can just give Lance or his designee the authority to issue those keys. Same 6 or 8 people that come for keys every year because they have.
If they've got a key before, we typically didn't have them come down here. It was if new non-key holders from previous year requested a key, they would.
Do they wait until they need the key to come in?
Yes,
Usually it's the day after they need the key, but
there's a family that likes to have Thanksgiving at a place on the other side of where they shouldn't be going with bad roads. And they don't want just one, they want keys for everybody in the family. So then we lose control of.
And what have we done in that instance? It seems like
Told them they could have a key,
somebody else at least.
but
This is relatively new, so people are still getting used to the idea of the fence being up there. If they only go a couple of times a year. I mean, this should diminish over time as people,
gals need to get through this gate to get up into their stuff. Or they can start working stuff, and that's the only way they can get in because all the roads are a mess. And I think they're the only ones that get a key to that gate, aren't they?
no, Bob Hubman also gets a key to that one. There's,
But
I think
yeah, it's a
five
very limited number.
on the Meadow Creek Road.
The ones that have legitimate purpose, I think Lance knows that, and I'm comfortable with them doing that. I think if there's somebody Lance questions the validity of their request, I don't mind fielding it here. What do you think?
that's fine with me. But it just seems like to me, this should become a non-issue as people get used to
As long as they
the
keep
gates being
Yes.
there. I mean, if the gates have only been there 3 years, then It's probably gonna take another couple of years before people realize really we can't get in here without key.
Hopefully. Hopefully. It was pretty clear they're brightly painted red gates and they're big.
Yeah, they're big gates, they're well built. In fact, Department of Lands sent a guy over to Burnell, these guys make them. Because they wanted the same kind of gates on state grounds. So what do you need from us? That
I just,
change to be,
I will change the form and change the policy and say they won't need to come down here unless there's a dispute. We'll go with that. I'll put that, that is on the gate document that we sign. I'll just change the bottom of it.
right?
And if there's other questions that you see as you look through the map, if you have specific questions about why a certain road has a road closure and why certain roads don't, let me know. There are several that we don't have a road closed sign on. Some of which is because the road just doesn't go anywhere. And it doesn't go very far. And others we do because if we didn't close that road, they could get back around some of these other areas that really we do.
Bypass the gate.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we had to discuss, and you can let me know when you get with the Caribou County Commissioner.
Thank you. Alan?
Just two things. The joint meeting, our next joint meeting, whenever that is, do you want to do that in the new year after the new election?
Makes sense. I think
That's
I'll give the rules more in.
okay. So we'll just talk about that some other time. Just give us more time. Next thing, we've got our every year before the legislative session, we try to meet with our legislators. Today's the day we're going to meet with them, and that's today at 4:00. You guys are welcome to attend if you'd like. It's
Council.
yeah, it's with the city council, and I don't even know if all council members will attend. It's pretty informal, but the two of the things that I just wanted to mention to you all that we're going to be talking to them about is number one, local option tax. This has been our agenda with the legislators for years. And it's kind of interesting because when we first brought it up, like 7 years ago, we were laughed out of the room. And now there's a little bit more traction on local option tax. And so,
We wouldn't need a local option tax if they would put some of the reins back in the hands of local government.
That's right.
Which they could charge to cover the necessary services.
the legislature hasn't created their own problem here. That's right.
We've decided on a top-down form
Yeah.
of government here, I guess, in Idaho, where they tell local governments what to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, and we'll be talking about that as well. But local option, we'll bring that up. And then the second thing, which is less of a push for us this year than it was last year, but it's a dedicated funding source for law enforcement. In previous years, we ran a bill that was a law enforcement district. We've kind of gone away from that, but we would like to see like a law enforcement levy, similar to like a Parks and Rec levy or a street levy, or even like a library levy. There's not a specific law enforcement levy option in the current statute. So those are the two things. In Hammond, the local option tax makes so much sense because of all the commerce that we have along Kid Road. And if we had a 1 or 2% local option tax in Hammond, we could nearly do away with our property taxes completely. And cover all of our property tax needs with local option tax. So it's pretty significant. And I don't know, to help if this is a little bit better year for it, but we're going to get a bill this year from the legislature. But we'll just continue the missionary campaign.
It's a worthy cause. Fortunately, educating populace, they see it as adding more taxes. They getting them to understand taxes pay for it and how they pay for things. Just like rant and rave about removing the grocery tax. But who is opposed to the grocery tax doesn't understand how the grocery tax works, and they did, then they wouldn't be opposed to it. But less overwhelming than they can be opposed, but
I just don't think, I think, you know, in Hammond, we bring in we will bring in $2.6 million in property taxes in the new fiscal year. And our law enforcement contract is 2.4 million. And so, you know, that's 90% of our property taxes go straight to law enforcement. And I don't think a lot of residents realize that most of their property taxes go towards shoplifting at Walmart, Cabela's, and Sportsman's.
yeah,
And
and
DUIs and,
lights in front of them.
yeah,
And accidents in the
misdemeanors.
parking.
And most of those folks, not all, of course, but most of the individuals involved in those crimes are not Hammond residents. And so Hammond residents are totally propping up the law enforcement activity for out-of-towners.
Are the sales tax numbers fine enough yet so that you can see what the sales tax from commercial centers are?
They used to be better. And so when we did our first, we've done a couple of studies on what the local option tax would generate in Hammond. And in those days, I was able to go to the state tax commission and get data, actual data, point of sale data from Hammond vendors. And they don't do it like a property. They don't do it by city boundaries. They do it by zip code. So it wasn't 100% correct, but I was able to do 83406 and all the sales within the 83406 zip code. And then just made some assumptions about what was included and what wasn't. The state tax commission got in trouble for that because they were giving us data.
There's no data.
And so it's actually more difficult to get it now. We can still get it, but it takes a couple more steps. And it still goes through the state tax commission.
Question actually ran up deeper. It's folks that buy online.
Right.
Is that online sales tax that wasn't going through the formula at all, and finally is just going through the formula. But how is that divided out? It's by zip code again?
No, that's the Wayfarer tax, and that they have a different calculation for that. I'm not familiar with it. But it does get distributed out through the state's sales tax redistributions.
Now,
Now that
for 5 years, people can create
Right.
the huge windfall for the state because
they didn't
they
even
don't share. Okay.
anything for me? Need to close any roads now?
No, I can, if you're taking care of those and the bridges, it's not we, it's, it's the bridge thing.
Did you figure out any more on the gas line on 49th North Lance? That they,
The bridge,
Yeah,
bridge
they have
and the high
a,
pressure line.
yeah. We did have another meeting. There are some other options being talked about. We are talking about pipes. They had to go back and double check a few things and also meet with the canal company.
Pipe around the pipe.
No, we were gonna put a pipe underneath where the new bridge would be. And, put a pipe in that's big enough that they could build a bridge while the water was still there going through.
Pipe for the water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you were here for that meeting, there's a 16-inch high pressure gas main. That's where the new bridge needs to.
oh, wow. Right, where the
services how many people?
40,000 people.
Whoa.
So try to shut that off right now when it's 26 degrees this morning or whatever.
They're not like that. So they're still working on it. We're still trying to prep for how fast we can get something happening
So that's 49th north.
from Hammond to 45th each.
And I was at the IBSD meeting last week. It sounds like they have been working back and forth with Horrocks to get their line and the
It's not very
design.
fast, but
But he said the air engineer said he was waiting on Horrocks for something right now, so.
that's right. They'll have to.
So maybe just double check with Horrocks on
Yeah,
that.
was that Kevin Harris?
Mhm. Yeah, he said he had reached out to request some of the design. Horrocks said we're not quite close enough yet, something like that. I didn't get the whole story, but
I'll double check, but it's,
yeah, if you would, that'd be great.
I was hearing the reverse story. Okay,
Hey, Shell, anything from Z?
We had our planning and zoning commission public hearing last week. And some of those things are rezoned and land use change, so we'll be scheduling those, the second hearing with you guys. And just working through all of our stuff.
What's the planning and commission dinner?
It is the 17th of November.
I was looking for it. Didn't see it.
Gwen sent you an invite too. You should have got.
Yes, you should have each received.
So Doug Martin, that's what I was looking for. It might have given it.
It's the 17th.
He told us it's on his calendar, so I assume. And then we'll have, we'll be having a work session with our planning and zoning commission for our December hearing. We didn't get any cases, thankfully. So it gives us time to do the work session with P&Z for our code change and then area of impact updates, which we'll need to then turn around after a work session with them and get before the new year. So that lots going on. I'm excited to have Aisha join us next week. I excited to work with her, so it'll be good. Then I guess we're preparing for a movie.
Yeah,
Someplace.
moving day next week sometime.
I don't know.
I think so, yeah. I gotta go talk to Brian Stosich.
Good gifts, that's the most exciting.
They're supposed to
She'll
paint
be
that
there. the new
main
year.
area Wednesday.
So, yeah, Aisha Foster.
Yeah.
I mean, she's worked from the city.
So everything else is done other than that downstairs.
Yeah, I like her, so that I've worked with her in the past, so I'm excited.
City planning and zoning county closer together.
Yeah,
One parking lot apart.
Yeah.
Say you're in the wrong building, we need to go to that office.
yeah, a little bit closer.
Good point. Austin, you have anything?
Oh, I have some questions for Micah, but not that I had to be in the meeting, so.
No one else has anything, we adjourn.